I just saw the platform. Let's talk about it. What's up, guys? My name is Adler. Thanks for tuning in. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, so if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers by the end of June, so I'd really appreciate it if you click that subscribe button. And let's jump right into the review. So the platform is a Spanish science fiction based in the future, and the whole entire premise is that there's this vertical prison that every so often drops food to different levels, and depending on what level you're at, basically that's the type of food you're going to be getting. This was directed by, I want to say my man's name right,
Galder Gaztelu-Urrutia.
Galder Gaztelu. I'm just gonna say Urrutia. This is directed by Urrutia. Apparently this film has gotten him an award at the Toronto International Film Festival and has been nominated for Best Director at the Goya Awards. So upon watching this movie, the first things that I thought of two things that it reminded me of. One of them, you guys probably already know what I'm going to say, but the first one, I think the movie is called The Circle, which is on Netflix. And it's basically a film where, if I remember it correctly, it was this circle that would kill people off slowly. It was almost like a social experiment. The next thing that it reminded me of was an episode of Black Mirror. Like, this whole entire film could have easily been a Black Mirror episode, which is really cool to me. I'm a big fan of Black Mirror. I'm a big fan of sci-fi. And just watching this was really entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. So one of the things that I loved about the movie the most was the way that everything was introduced. I wanna say it was seamless, but so basically there's a character named Gorg, right? And what I liked about the film was that they used Gorg kind of as the audience. And through him, he knows as much as we know about the world. And it's through him that we start to learn the different things about the world. We don't just start with a character that already knows what's going on. We start with an empty slate. And it's actually pretty cool to see his relationships evolve over time and how through each relationship that he's, encountered, he's learned something new that basically, helps us move forward with the story. The reason why that is so important is just because this is a concept that is not really, it's not a concept that's real, so it really helps to have Gorg as the anchor, and I thought that was pretty much genius on the director's part. Throughout the film, like, different characters kind of refer to him as like a messiah almost, and there's certain things that Gorg has been learning throughout this whole entire process, and he tries to, I'm trying to speak without spoiling, but he basically is trying to, talk to other people at different levels about how they should be living. Like, here's the proper way that we should do things. There's people below us that are struggling, and he would try to communicate with the people above, but it's obvious that the people above don't want to listen, and the people below, they're worried about their own health. They're worried about their own food. They're saying, you got it good up there. Like, why should we listen to you? I think that throughout the film, when Gorg is trying to talk to the different characters, like if he's at level 48, right? If he's trying to talk to someone at level 49 or level 47, it's not like he's necessarily talking to us. Or necessarily talking to them. The way that I saw it when I was watching the film was that this was a film that was directly trying to talk to the audience, which basically, this is what kind of took me back around the film, right? I thought the film was very aggressive when it came to its preachiness. To me, I think that it was very obvious that the film was trying to talk about socioeconomics and classism, just to be blunt. Like, that's what the film was about. So when I watched the film, I didn't watch it in Spanish. I ended up watching it in English. I don't know. So this is my point, right? The reason why I say this is there were certain things, like the dialogue felt very direct. I don't know if that was because, English was, translating, like Spanish was being translated into English. But that was one of the things that I didn't like about the film. When I'm watching films, I like for it to be a little bit subtle in the messages that they're trying to tell me. Maybe, I wouldn't say Parasite was subtle, but what's a subtle film? But when I'm watching films, I like it when, you know, things are just a little bit subtle, maybe so that my brain could work a little bit, and I get it. So I feel like the film was trying to make a clear commentary on the way that we live our lives now. I don't want to get too political or preachy or anything like that, but that's just the route that it seemed like it was taking. Something that I found really interesting in the whole storytelling aspect of things was how throughout the film, it's shown that you could only go up through like God, right? So one thing that was interesting about the film was the fact that you can easily go down levels if you wanted to. It's really easy to go down levels, but if you wanted to go up, that's out of your control, you know? Gorg at one point is asked, "Do you believe in God?" When he's asked why, his cellmate says to him, "Because, you know, when we wake up, we don't know where we're gonna be. We could be up here, we could be down here." It's almost like the only way that you could make your way up is through luck or God. You know, those are the only two ways. Now, the reason why I don't really hate the film or beat it up is it's mainly because the film is very clear on who its audience is. And the film's audience obviously is us, but I think at the end of the day, the audience for the film was, you know, for the film festivals, right? And the reason why I say this is because of how just out there and preachy the film was. It was very direct when it came to how political it was. And one thing that I realized, especially in like my own filmmaking career, I'll get into one of my own stories, where over the summer, maybe around August, my team and I, we submitted a film into a film festival, and we did the film just purely out of the love of filmmaking, just young guys that enjoy making films, and we put it out there. And the audience loved our film. They loved it, you know, clapping, cheering, like, "Oh my goodness, this was amazing," right? But when it came to the other film not only had the production quality, but it also had the story, but the story was also very political. And so even though the audience liked it, the judge loved it. The judges enjoyed it. They ate it up. And that's one thing that I started to realize about film festivals, or just in general, different audiences, right? Different audiences obviously want different things, but if you're going to submit it into a film festival, maybe for the Oscars, for example, you want to make sure that, you know, it's all about the marketing. It's all about how it's presented. I don't hate the film for that reason. If anything, I think it adds an extra layer of genius to it, but it is also something that, you know, I kept in the back of my mind as I was watching, because it felt like I was at a film festival. It felt like I was watching a film festival film. But this film was amazing. To me, I thought it was a really good film. So on a scale from Fulala to Kalex, Fulala being terrible or an F, and Kalex being an A, I will put it somewhere in between where it's okay. You know, I'll give it an it's okay. But overall, I think you guys should check out the film. I mean, you guys might walk away from this. One of the best parts about the film after watching it is being able to talk to other people about it. So I really want to know exactly, what did you guys think about the platform? Down in the links description down in the comment section below. I'm really interested to hear what you guys are thinking. If you like what you saw here, please go ahead, like, subscribe. I post new videos every Monday and Thursday, so I'll be here. And if you really like me, go ahead, follow me on Instagram @TheCinematicHitman, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.